Do you tend to not wear accessories because the whole idea of accessorizing your outfit feels way too overwhelming and confusing? You're not alone, and I've got you. I promise it is easier than you might be thinking. The whole idea of how to make an outfit more interesting or more complete or look more put together using accessories can be kind of mind-boggling. I get this. I worked a lot of retail. I have worked with lots of clients, and this is something I hear very often. I really, truly have no idea how to use accessories. Even if they own them, I will be in a closet with a client and she will tell me, oh, well, I have all of this, but I have no idea what to wear with it. I don't know what to do with it. My partner bought it for me, but I don't know how to wear it. Or my sister loves accessories, so she keeps buying me these belts or these scarves or these necklaces, but I never wear them. I have no idea what to do with them. I want to help you understand today how you can use accessories in a really simple way that doesn't feel overwhelming or confusing and have them add to your own sense of personal style, feeling authentic and aligned with who you are and how you want to show up, just a little bit more put together. Because yes, in fact, finishing a look with an accessory definitely is a thing. And it is true that a t-shirt and jeans can look great, and a t-shirt and jeans with a great belt or a great necklace or a great hat or a great scarf can take it to the next level. So today I'm going to share some of my own personal accessories, and I'm not specifically going to accessorize looks. I purposely kept this one very plain today, but I am going to talk through kind of what gets in the way and the biggest struggles that I find my clients have with accessories, and help you make it easy so that if you've been wanting to wear accessories but have felt really overwhelmed by it, that can stop today. If you're not familiar with me, I am Kristen from Kristen Kane Style. I'm a style and mindset coach. So I understand how to do all the things with accessories. And I also understand that if I don't help you realize that you likely have some thoughts and limiting beliefs around what you can and can't do with your accessories, you're not ever going to actually have them become part of your wardrobe in an authentic way. And you're just going to kind of keep this feeling of accessorizing is for women who kind of have it together and understand how to use them. And I'm not one of them, so I can't make it work for me. I do work one-on-one with clients. So if you're interested in exploring that option, style therapy is how we do that. There's a link down below for all the details. And you can also book a 1-hour consultation call where I can help you understand what's really going on with your style. I can talk you through the style therapy process and help you make a decision about whether it's a good fit to work together right now. So why is accessorizing complicated? I think it's complicated because the idea of getting dressed and looking put together every single day feels complicated to many women because the world of clothing and the world of style is so arbitrary and trend focused in a lot of ways. And we have this fear, if we're in any way perfectionistic, of getting it wrong or of being judged for our choices. And so if we manage to put together a top and a bottom and a pair of shoes, that feels kind of like all we have the bandwidth for. And the idea of then having to accessorize and having there be more choices to make leads to kind of that frozen feeling, to that indecision, that decision fatigue of, I don't even know what to do next. Whether you own the accessories that you would wear or whether you would need to shop for accessories, accessories are like that extra layer that tends to feel confusing. I got the top and I got the bottoms and I have a pair of shoes and I maybe have a coat to put over it or a blazer or a sweater. And now you're telling me I need to add earrings and a necklace and a bracelet and a belt and maybe a scarf and a hat? No way. So first I want to mention that if you are familiar with me in any way, you know that simplicity is sort of my middle name. It's not really, but it kind of could be. I believe in simplicity, especially with getting dressed, kind of above all else. And as a result, my own wardrobe is pretty simple. Then I have some accessories that I rotate through pretty regularly and wear to make my very simple outfits look different or more interesting. And along the lines of perfectionism, I find that most of my clients, most of the women who I work with, have some tendencies in the perfectionist realm. And there is nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you don't recognize that that's how your brain is thinking, you can't choose something different that might be more desirable, and you might really want that, and then you don't understand why you're stuck not taking action. Your friends wear these amazing accessories and you just can't bring yourself to do it. And I want to just make sure you understand that perfectionism can get in the way of us taking action, even when we know that we probably would be happier taking the action. Even when we're really frustrated and we think, well, I would love to be wearing accessories and I even have some, but I don't actually ever wear them out of the house. And that overthinking, that people pleasing, that fear of judgment, that kind of all or nothing. Well, if I don't figure out what earrings and what necklace and what belt, then I might as well just not wear any accessories. And so noticing that perfectionism can be at play is the first step in recognizing that there is something that you can do about it, and you just need to get over that perfectionistic hurdle. So I'm going to share a little bit about how you can do that today. So within the realm of perfectionism and simplicity is also starting small. The best way to learn how to wear accessories is to begin with what you already own and start with one piece. And I know that sounds simplistic and people think, well, if I can't figure out, as I said, with the perfectionism all or nothing, if I can't figure out how to wear accessories the way someone super stylish in my world wears them, then I'm not going to try anything until I figure it out. So as perfectionists, we tend to hold back. We don't take any action because we're afraid that we'll mess it up. So we protect our potential by holding back and thinking, well, once I kind of have it all dialed in, once I buy all the necklaces, all the earrings, all the bracelets, all the hats, all the scarves, then I'll be able to show up wearing this full ensemble of accessories. And first of all, that isn't really a better look. Certainly some women, their signature style is decked out with all the accessories. They like having matching earrings and necklace and bracelet. They want everything to coordinate and to have it feel kind of elaborate and a little bit extra, if you will. I am not that person. So if what you want to learn is how to accessorize all over with all of the things, that is not what you're going to learn from me. I am way more about just picking a piece or two that really truly aligns with your personal sense of style, makes you feel authentic, and makes it feel like you added that little bit of intention, that little bit of an extra step to bring the whole outfit, the whole look together. I will mention that I tend to purchase accessories secondhand because I find that there's sort of this low barrier to entry. I'm not spending $75 on a belt. I might be spending $5 or $7 on a belt. That makes it easier for me to believe that I can experiment with a belt that may or may not be something that becomes a signature part of my style. So a long time ago, I decided that leopard belts were part of my signature style. As a result, I now have several leopard belts. I recently purchased a new Target leather belt on Poshmark because Target doesn't make this belt anymore, which makes me very sad, but I found one on Poshmark, so I purchased it. I have also purchased this belt secondhand. This belt, I believe, was actually from Target when they still had it. It's looking pretty crummy where the buckle goes. It's probably time to let it go. I have also had other leopard belts that I have purchased and thrifted and retired because they were worn out. Oh, here's another leopard one. A lot of leopard belts because that's my go-to. That is one of my signature accessories. When in doubt, I put on a leopard belt. I know it's going to go with all of my shoes. I can put it on with a t-shirt. I can put it on with a sweater. I can put it on with a blazer. I can put it on with pretty much any color. A leopard belt is one of my go-to signature items. I don't need dozens of go-to signature items. I need a couple. Leopard belts are one of them. This belt was thrifted in Paris at a fabulous thrift store. They have lots of them in Paris called Freep Star. It's incredible. I've had this for over a decade. I love this belt. This belt was in my husband's family. I believe it belonged to his grandmother. Also a great belt. This one I recently thrifted because I thought it's leather and it was inexpensive and it works with my color palette. Honestly, this one should probably go in storage for the winter because it feels much more like summer. Now I'm going to jump ahead and talk about seasons and kind of changing out your accessories. I don't think you need to go to a lot of trouble doing that, but this belt is a good example. This feels more like spring and summer to me. It could easily get packed away and be pulled back out then because I'm not really going to wear it probably much in the winter. The same is true for some necklaces. I have some delicate, lightweight, just beaded necklaces that I really don't wear in the winter because all of my clothing is kind of heavier and bulkier. When in the summer, when it's really hot and I don't want to have a lot of stuff on in addition to my outfit, I have a couple of little necklaces that I tuck away in a little bag for the winter because I really don't wear them because they get lost under any kind of chunkier sweater. So this one would go get packed away. This belt I saw thrifted and didn't purchase it. And then thankfully it appeared again. It is, I think the company is Brighton. And it's reversible. So you can kind of twist it and wear it. I don't think I'd wear it black and red alternating, but you can twist the buckle so that you can wear it as a red belt or you can wear it as a black belt. And I have worn it a couple of times and I like it. I didn't really need it. Had I gone, I don't know how much this would have been full price, but my guess is it probably would have been close to $100. I didn't need it for $100, but at the thrift level for about $6, I thought I could try this because the red works with the stripes and the navy and the cream and the gray and all the colors that I wear. And it's a little bit different than a leopard belt and it adds a little bit of interest. This is just a plug for starting your accessory collection secondhand because it allows you to do so without investing a ton of money in things like this red belt that may or may not be a win. Once you know what your win go-to accessories are, like for me, it's a leopard belt, then I can look for leopard belts everywhere and I can keep collecting them because I know that that's an item, that's an accessory that I want to wear in lots of different ways. I'm happy to have a few of them. The next thing I'll talk about is scarves. I happen to like scarves. I work with lots and lots of women, and I would say over 50% of those women have a lot of scarves and tell me that they don't wear scarves. Sometimes it's a matter of not really knowing how to wear a scarf, and there are lots of tutorials for that. I find the easiest, most effortless way is just to kind of loop it around twice and sort of tie it together. I don't currently have any infinity scarves because I do feel like scarves go through sort of some trendy ups and downs, and currently infinity scarves are not really trending. The more trending scarves right now are more square silk scarves that you can wear with a more casual outfit. This one is really pretty incredible. It's Chanel from when I worked at Neiman Marcus many years ago. I wasn't planning to have it match this sweater so well today, but obviously it does. So the more on trend way right now to wear scarves that I'm noticing, not that I care about trends really at all, is to have silk scarves kind of tied a little bit loose around your neck. So I had these 2 silk scarves already in my wardrobe, and yet if I didn't, I probably would have thrifted a couple of silk scarves to play around with that trend. I tend to like to add color and pattern in scarves because my wardrobe is pretty solid and simple. And so if I can add a beautiful floral patterned graphic print in a scarf, that way I get to have the scarf be interesting and kind of accessorize my outfit in a way that feels finished and still like me, and it adds a little more interest than just everything being solid. That said, I do have some solid scarves that I also wear, and I can easily wear those with anything that's patterned and it doesn't interfere. Although I'm not afraid to pattern mix, it's just that's a little more difficult. It's like a next level step. You kind of need to get the basics of mixing and matching down before you add mixing and matching lots of patterns. Personally, I wear a scarf because I like the warmth. I like that it keeps my neck a little bit warmer. And then I like that it adds a little bit of interest. So all sorts of scarves are available at all sorts of price points, from Amazon through Target and Old Navy through every thrift shop. So if scarves are something you want to play around with wearing, then truly just play around with wearing them. The easiest way I find to wear a scarf is like this, loop it around, tie it. I know lots of other ways, but almost always if I'm putting a scarf on, this is pretty much what I'm doing with it. As I said, I like the warmth that they add. I like the interest. I like the completion of the outfit. It feels a little more finished with one more piece on. Again, I wasn't really planning to be as color coordinated as this kind of feels now that I'm looking down, but I do believe in adding a great scarf because it adds a completion factor as well as a warmth factor. The next thing I'll talk about is jewelry. So I don't wear a ton of jewelry. I pretty much default to little diamond studs, or I have little pearls on right now. I also own a couple pairs of kind of more interesting earrings, if you will. They're still pretty small and simple. These are some little gold hoops from Amazon that Greta gave me as a gift. And they're really pretty on. They're really delicate. They, aren't super standout-ish, but they finish a look different than just no earring or just a little diamond stud. I also have a couple pairs of just gold hoops that I wear. I tend to choose necklaces as my jewelry accessory. I wear a couple of bracelets all the time that I don't ever take off. And I wear a watch. Those are the things I wear on my wrist. I don't really have a lot of bracelets. I have a few, but I don't wear them very often. I tend to wear more necklaces because I like layering necklaces. I thrift for necklaces. I ask for necklaces as gifts sometimes. I don't want to have it be complicated and have to have a bracelet that matches the earrings that matches the necklace. Certainly there are lots of designers out there who make incredible matching sets, and if that is your vibe, go for it. That can be beautiful with a t-shirt just by itself. I just like separates more, both in my clothing and in my jewelry. So I tend to like to layer jewelry, specifically necklaces, with really simple earrings and just the bracelets and my watch and my wedding band. I have a couple of rings. I tend to not wear rings because I wear my wedding band and that is plenty for me. And my knuckles are kind of big and bony. And so rings I don't need to call a ton of attention to my large hands, and rings aren't really all that comfortable on me. When I see an interesting necklace when I'm thrifting, I often purchase it because I know that I am someone who likes to wear necklaces in a lot of different ways with a lot of different outfits to complete my look. This was recently added. Great piece. I've seen these full price in a lot of places, and I decided that I didn't really need to buy one full price. And then I found this one thrifted and I actually really love it. So I don't tend to buy bracelets and earrings and rings. I really don't buy bracelets and earrings and rings unless I were thrifting for something for a specific look. Like I really wanted to wear something very specific, like a great black turtleneck, and I wanted a really great pair of earrings to be part of an outfit. I'm really not thrifting for earrings or bracelets or rings. I am thrifting for necklaces and belts and scarves. And I rarely buy accessories full retail, primarily because there's so much cool stuff out there that I don't feel like I need to. I don't feel like I need to spend full price on jewelry, and I don't follow trends. So if there's something trending, I tend to find it at a thrift level before I purchase it full price retail. But however you do it, decide which area you want to accessorize. If you're someone I don't wear hats really, because with my curls, hats just kind of are difficult, and I've never had long flowy hair that tends to look really great with a hat. I have had really short hair and that worked with a hat, but hats aren't my go-to accessory. If they're yours, have a great hat collection. I have several clients who have great hat collections, and they kind of tempt me to want to be a hat girl, but I'm just not. I am a scarf and belt and necklace girl. So decide what kind of girl you are. What accessories feel the most authentic to you, and start there. Start small. Look in your own closet and start putting on the pieces that you have that you maybe bypass because it feels too complicated. You do not need everything to be matching. You do not need everything to be covered. You don't need to have rings and bracelets and necklaces and belt, and that's not necessary. It's best to start small and then add in as you go. Chanel is famously quoted as saying, before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take something off. So, and accessories, were basically what she was thinking, although she wore layers and layers of pearl necklaces. So I'm not sure, maybe she took off rings or earrings, but I really believe that if you can identify the accessory that you feel the most comfortable with, and then just wear what you have, and until you realize, I really actually would love to wear layered necklaces, I'm going to start to look for some. Start small. You do not need to accessorize everything. I think that's one of the myths, that you need to have the right earrings with the right necklace with the right bracelet, and you don't. You can start very small. Start with a belt in a color you love and wear the belt and let that be your accessory for now. And create a little accessory capsule. I have a capsule of scarves. I have a capsule of belts. I have a capsule of necklaces, essentially, that I rotate through. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I put some of those away. Certainly I put some of the scarves away. These brighter, more kind of spring and summery florals, they will come out of my closet soon. And there are a couple of more wintry scarves that will replace them. That makes it fresh when the weather starts to get warmer, and I can pull these out. Even when it still might be snowing in May at my house, it will feel more like the season at hand. So start small, build yourself a little collection of them, mix and match and play with them, and have fun with it. The last thing I'll mention about accessories is oftentimes you probably have something that you gravitate towards. Very, very often when I am working with a client in her closet, she has a collection of some sort of accessory that is really being underutilized, if it's being utilized at all. And I can think of a couple different examples. I had a client who loved artisan belts, often kind of braided or embroidered artisan belts. And she kind of had them as a collection, but she wasn't wearing them. So in her case, we worked her wardrobe around these belts. We created outfits where these belts could be the signature kind of moment in her look. So as she began to shop for new clothing, she shopped for things that coordinated with these belts that were very simple, like simple t-shirts and simple sweaters and denim and colored pants that she could wear with these embroidered, elaborate handmade belts. And it just became part of her look, and it was incredible, and she loved it. Similarly, I have another client whose sister makes jewelry, and the jewelry is kind of graphic and bold and very artisan and incredible. And she was just collecting it because the sister would make it and give it to her, but she didn't really know how to wear it because she had that idea that, well, I have to have it go with everything. There have to be earrings that make sense and a bracelet, and my sister really only makes necklaces, so I don't know what to do with it. Wear no earrings or put on a simple pair of hoops, little hoops, a simple pair of pearls or studs that would allow the necklace to be kind of the star of the show, and utilize this woman, this client loved her sister's pieces. She just didn't know what to do with them, but she already had this collection. I have another client who loved kind of interesting, again, handmade artisan pieces, which are an incredible way to bring accessories into your everyday wardrobe. She had these incredible kind of pendant silver, they were almost like stained glass with sort of silver around the edges, sometimes maybe gold around the edges, and she strung them on silk or leather ties. So she had a whole collection of these, and she had a whole collection of kind of ribbons and silk cords and leather lengths that she could just tie with one of these pendants on. And she too was not really utilizing them because of this fear that she could do it wrong, that somehow everything else had to coordinate too, and then it became too big. She was not going to wear it with patterned, elaborate belts. She was wearing these necklaces as the star of the show with very understated pieces everywhere else. So first and foremost, keep in mind that accessorizing can be literally one piece. It can be one leopard belt. It can be one great necklace. It can be 2 layered necklaces together. It can be a great scarf, and that it can become part of your signature, part of your identifier with regard to your style. Leopard belt is very me. People tell me when they see great leopard belts so that I can keep purchasing leopard belts, because I don't see that not being part of my signature look anytime soon. So allow accessories to help define your authentic look. A white t-shirt and jeans on 10 different women who have 10 different ideas of what a great accessory is for them is going to look completely different. The woman who wants to wear a scarf, totally different look than the woman who wants to layer necklaces, totally different look than the woman who wears her hair back and wears a big giant pair of earrings with every outfit. There is no wrong answer. You don't have to have all the accessories. They don't have to all match. Start small, try one on a regular basis and kind of keep track of how you feel in it, how you like the look, and play around. If you would like my help figuring out what to do with all the artisan pieces or accessories you have in your wardrobe that you're just not wearing, or how to purchase new ones and know what to bring in that will work with your style, Style therapy is the way I work one-on-one with women. There's a link down below for all the details. If you're not following me already on Instagram, I am at Kristen Kane Style over there. I would love to have you come join me. That's a fun community also. And my email list, I send an email every Monday. That's the first place I share any news or updates or information. There's a link down below so you can hop on the list if you're not already. And I'm going to drop in a video right here in case you want to keep watching. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. This community has grown quite a bit over the last few months, and it is really truly a highlight of my week to be able to interact with you here and to show up coaching and teaching on a new style topic. So thank you very much for your support. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and there will be a new video out next Friday.